Good morning. It is Sunday, December 29th. We're starting a new quarterly. This one is called God's Love and Justice. And I discovered that there's an app. If you'd like to download the app, just go to the App Store, I assume, and it's called Sabbath School Quarterly. And you can download it on your phone. This one is called Beyond Reasonable Expectations. God not only asks us, "Do you love me?" but God himself loves each person and does so freely. Indeed, he freely loves you and me and every other person more than we could possibly imagine. And we know this love by the way he has acted in the history of his people. Read Exodus 33:15-22. Then he said to him, "If your presence does not go with us, do not bring us up from here. For how then will it be known that your people and I have found grace in your sight, except you go with us? So we shall separate your people and I from all these people who are upon the face of the earth." So the Lord said to Moses, "I will also do this thing that you have spoken. For you have found grace in my sight, and I know you by name." And he said, "Please show me your glory." And then he said, "I will make all my goodness pass before you, and I will proclaim the name of the Lord before you. I will be gracious to whom I will be gracious now, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion." But he said, "You cannot see my face, for no man shall see me and live." And the Lord said, Here is a place by me, and you shall stand on the rock. So it shall be, when my glory passes by, that I will put you in the cleft of the rock, will cover you with my hand while I pass by. Consider the context of these verses and the narrative in which they appear. What does this passage, especially verse 19, reveal about God's will and love? Exodus 33:19, I will be gracious on whom I will be gracious, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. It's basically saying that God's going to love who he wants to, and there's nothing you can do about it. All seemed lost. Not long after God's amazing deliverance of his people from slavery in Egypt, the people of Israel had rebelled against God and worshipped a golden calf. When Moses came down from the mountain, he saw what they had done, and he threw down the tablets containing the 10 Commandments and shattered them. Though the people had forfeited any right to the covenant privileges and blessings that God had freely bestowed on them, God freely chose to continue with them in covenant relationship anyway, despite their unworthiness for the covenant blessings. The words of Exodus 33:19, I will be gracious to whom I will be gracious, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion, are often misunderstood to mean that God arbitrarily chooses to be compassionate and gracious to some, but not others. However, in context, God is not stating here that he will arbitrarily be gracious and compassionate to some and not others. However, in context, God is not stating here that he will arbitrarily be gracious and compassionate to some and not others. That is not how God works. Contrary to some popular theology in which God predestines some to be lost and to face eternal condemnation. What then is God proclaiming here? Essentially, God is proclaiming that as the creator of all, he has the right and authority to grant grace and compassion freely to even the most undeserving of people, and he is doing so in this situation, even after the golden calf rebellion, by granting mercy to his people Israel, even if they didn't deserve it. This is one of many instances in which God manifests his love and does so beyond any reasonable expectation. Good news for all of us, is it not? Discussion question. In what ways has God continued to reveal and manifest his love to you, even beyond any reasonable expectation? Pretty much every day. I'm sure if you look around, you'll see things that happen that are good, and you think it's serendipity or luck or good fortune or whatever, but it's not. It's God working in the background. So yeah, thank you for listening. Have a nice day.